Hello, I'm David Harper with the BBC News. The Russian authorities say an airport in the northwestern city of Pskov has been attacked by drones. State media said 4 military transport aircraft were damaged, with 2 bursting into flames. James Reid has more detail.
Unconfirmed video footage of the attack on Pskov showed a large fire and air defence weapons in action. The local governor said there were no reports of casualties. The Russian military said it had also engaged drones over Bryansk, close to the Ukrainian border. In recent weeks, Ukraine has increased its use of explosive drones to strike targets inside Russia. The attacks are on a much smaller scale than Russia's bombardment of Ukrainian cities, but they appear to be growing in range and sophistication. Pskov is more than 600 kilometres away from Ukraine, close to Russia's border with Estonia.
The US state of Florida is bracing for the arrival of Hurricane Idalia, which is gathering strength as it moves north across the Gulf of Mexico. It's expected to be an extremely dangerous major hurricane before it makes landfall on Wednesday. Evacuation orders have been issued in more than 20 counties. The hurricane's most dangerous feature is expected to be a storm surge more than 3 metres high along Florida's Gulf Coast. Kevin Guthrie is the director of the Florida Division of Emergency Management.
If you have not evacuated, you need to do that right now. We are going to experience historical flood surge up into the Big Bend area. This is nothing to be messing around with, so please heed the warnings. If you're in that Big Bend area, your emergency managers are calling for an evacuation, please do it.
The social media platform X, formerly Twitter, says it's lifting a nearly 4-year ban on political adverts in the United States. X said it was building on its commitment to free expression and to empower users to express their opinions and openly debate during elections. It said it would also expand its safety and elections teams to focus on combating content manipulation. The teams were heavily cut after Elon Musk bought the platform last year. The security forces in Gabon have arrested an opposition leader who was part of a coalition that challenged President Ali Bongo in elections on Saturday. Rachel Wright has this report.
The vice president of the party for the reappropriation of Gabon was taken to the military intelligence headquarters in the capital, Libreville. According to his colleague, no reason was given for the arrest. There are also reports that troops have been deployed near the homes of other opposition leaders. Gabon held presidential elections on the 26th of August that were widely marked by irregularities. President Ali Bongo was accused of electoral fraud by the opposition. The government in turn shut down the internet and imposed a curfew and a ban on French media outlets. It remains unclear when the results of the ballot will be released.
Rachel Wright reporting. This is the latest world news from the BBC. A retired Chilean general has killed himself a day after losing an appeal against his sentence for kidnap and murder of the celebrated folk singer Victor Jara 50 years ago. Hernán Chacón shot himself when police arrived at his home to take him to prison. Chacón was among 7 former soldiers who had 25-year prison sentences confirmed by the Supreme Court on Monday. India has lodged a strong protest with China over a new map that lays claim to Indian territory, marking the latest testy exchange between the giant neighbours. The map showed the northeast Indian state of Arunachal Pradesh as Chinese territory. The disputed Aksai Chin Plateau in the western Himalayas was also marked as part of China. Sanjay Dasgupta reports.
Aksai Chin, a high-altitude strategic corridor that links Tibet to western China, is controlled by Beijing but claimed by India. In Arunachal Pradesh, on the other hand, Delhi's writ runs, but the state is claimed by China. The 3,500-kilometre border the two giant nuclear-armed neighbours share has for long been a source of tension. Only last week, China's President Xi Jinping and the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi shook hands and smiled at the cameras on the sidelines at the BRICS summit in Johannesburg as they held face-to-face talks. But they were clearly not able to map out a road to peace.
An international operation has taken down the Quackbot malware platform that's extorted hundreds of millions of dollars from businesses, hospitals and government agencies around the world. The US Justice Department said the FBI joined forces with counterparts in Europe to seize dozens of servers and millions in cryptocurrency. Canada has issued a new travel warning to its LGBT citizens planning to visit the United States. The government advisory said those planning a trip should check local relevant state and laws. An official said some US states had passed laws banning drag shows and restricting transgender participation in sports. BBC News.